the next thing we want to do is to pin the pattern onto the fabric. The first thing you have to figure out is which side is the right side. We're looking for the shiny. It's kind of hard to tell. This is considered the shiny. This, you can kind of almost see like the weave of the fabric. So this would be considered the wrong side, this is the right side. And this would be the wrong side, this would be the right side. So we're going for shiny. We want them to be together right in the middle. So I'm going to see on this side, I've got my two layers together, but I'm going to see the wrong side here. If I lift it up, I'll see the wrong side here. So right side's in the center, and we're going for shiny as our right side. We're going to line up this these two pieces of fabric have a selvage, it's this little fuzzy pieces. You want to line those up as best as you can so that the fabric's fairly even. Then we're going to take our pattern, and where the line is with the two arrows on either end is the grain line. It says grain of fabric on the line. This is our guide for how we're going to have this be even on our fabric. So I'm going to take one pin. I basically have it centered on my fabric. I'm going to take one pin and I'm going to put it into the end of the grain line. So I put my pin all the way down in through my fabric. You can see back here. And then I put it through my fabric and my pattern again, so my point is on the other side, and so my pin is totally on top. Then I'm going to take a tape measure, and I'm going to measure with the end of the tape measure right on that line on the end where my pin is. I'm going to go over to my selvage, and you can see we've got, our fabric, and then we've got the fuzz. So I'm going to just go to the edge of the fabric, and I just mark it with my fingernail. If you want to look at the amount, that's perfectly fine. It's just as easy to mark it with your fingernail, hold it there, and then slide it down to the other end. And I've got my fingernail on the edge of that fabric again, and I'm going to move my pattern so that the end of the tape measure is right on that line. And then I'm going to put a pin here on the end and put it through back up. So I've got my grain line marked. You can double check your amounts. That is perfectly fine, not a problem with that. It's always good to double check. And then we're ready to pin around the outside of the bag. I would start on the side that the grain line is closest to. And I did my grain line closest to the selvage. When you put your pins in, put them in the same way we've already done them. I usually start back a little ways so that my pin is going towards the outside of the pattern. You need your pin to be inside of the paper, because when you cut out this pattern later, you're going to be cutting right along the line that you cut when you just cut the paper pattern. You want to definitely do all of the corners, and you can do that to start, or you can just gradually work your way there. So I've got my first corner here, and then I want my next pin somewhere between 2 and 3 inches apart. And so you just kind of, I've had students measure before, but you can definitely eye it and just keep going all the way down, and then in through this corner. And then I would just continue on all the way around the outside. You wouldn't do anything else in the inside. You've got your grain line, that's all you need, and then it's just pins around the outside of the bag.